summer break.
So do you want cheese on that, hon?
Sure, Pie.
A time for leisure, recreation, and taking her easy.
Unless you're me. From my past videos, I think you can tell that I'm a huge Gravity Falls fan. Like, being a fan of the show at the same time it was airing has to be one of the highlights of my childhood. You just had to be there to believe it, dude. Man, still can't believe it's been a decade since the show first aired. Wait, what? No, it's only 12 years old. I remember seeing Tur's Strap the day it came out. Existential dread aside, with the recent release of the Book of Bill, I thought it would be an appropriate time to revisit this franchise and the memories that I and millions of other fans share with these characters. I present to you set number 71043, the Gravity Falls CMF Series. The series would include 12 characters based on both seasons of the show. Also, there will be spoilers for the Book of Bill, just in case you haven't gotten a chance to read it yet. I know the cover might look scary, but after reading the book, I can confirm I'm oogly goo. Weird. So with all that said, let's go just west of Weird and take back the falls. Starting us off, we have Dipper. Now, he has a relatively straightforward design, just a vest and some shorts. He would use small legs to represent his height in the show, as well as dual molded arms with printing for his sleeves. This along with an alternate scared expression, and probably the hardest thing I had to make for this figure, his hair. Dipper's got this curly type styled hair, so no existing hair hat combo would fit him. So, I created a new one, with some printing for his iconic pine tree cap. And for his accessory, I couldn't forget about the icon that is journal number 3. Like, this thing was a character onto its own. It would use the official book piece with some printing for the cover and a 2x1 flat towel with printing on the inside to represent the Trust No One page from Tourist Trap. Even if that hair hat combo took me a while to figure out, I think he came out great. Next up, we have probably the most overhated character in the show. Like, I know Mabel did some pretty selfish stuff throughout the series, with Dipper usually having to sacrifice his happiness for her. The Time Traveler's pig being a perfect example of that. Then again, you have to remember that she is like 12 years old, my guy. So obviously the child is gonna act like a child. Rant aside, Mabel would also use short legs, with the skirt piece from the troll sets. Not only does it add some extra detail, but the piece makes her exactly 1 millimeter taller than Dipper.
Yep. She's got exactly 1 millimeter on you.
This along with an alternate, more relaxed expression and a new hairpiece, as there wasn't an official one that fit her. Finally, for her accessory, she would have the crystal flashlight from Little Dipper and the official pig piece to represent everyone's favorite animal companion, Waddles. Realistically, he would probably utilize a new mold like Zero in the recent Nightmare Before Christmas set. But for now, I think this does the job and overall brings the whole figure together. Up next is probably my favorite character from the show, Great Uncle, or just Grunkle Stan. Every line this man says has me cracking up, like he should do stand-up. Well, maybe not stand-up, but you get the point. Stanley would use dual molded legs with some printing for his shoes, as well as some arm printing to represent his sleeves. Now, the thing I struggled with the most on this figure has to be his head. Lego has this oddly specific style in which only a few figures get noses. So, instead of just putting on his nose and calling it a day, I did the same thing Lego did for their Flintstone set, leaving an outline of the nose on the beard. This along with an alternate angrier expression as a reference to one of the hardest scenes from the show, and a new hair hat combo for his vest, with his accessory being his 8-ball cane. Even if the head takes a little getting used to, I'm proud of the outcome. Jesus Ramirez, or just Soos, is another one of my favorite characters from the cast. He's such a vibe. I just want to be his friend and eat a slice of pizza with him or something.
I'm a blanching, girl, we blanching. I live up in the mansion.
He would use dual molded legs with some printing for his shorts, as well as some flowing hip printing for his belly. This along with dual molded arms with printing for his sleeves, and the official cap piece, with his accessory being a 3x2 flat tile with printing for his idea of the Mystery Shack's mascot. Questiony the question mark. This might be a really simple figure, but I had a super fun time making and designing it. Wendy has to be the most underutilized character in the show. It's still crazy to me that we got a spotlight episode for every character in the main cast except for her. Getting back onto the subject, Wendy would use mid-legs, as she's taller than the twins, but still short compared to Stan and Soos, with some printing for her boots and flowing hip printing. Once again, having dual molded arms with printing to represent her sleeves, and an alternate angrier expression. This along with another new hair hat combo with her lumberjack hat and the official axe piece as her accessory. Overall, just really capturing Wendy's coolness in Lego form. Honestly, don't remember much of Candy, aside from her whole crush on Dipper from Roadside Attraction. Side note, probably my least favorite episode in the entire series. Not that it's bad, no. It's just that, compared to the rest of the show, it's mildly interesting at best. Like Mabel, she would use short legs, with the skirt piece from the troll sets. This along with flowing arm printing, as well as an alternate scared expression, and a new hair piece, as there wasn't an official one that fit her, with her accessory being a 1x1 cylinder piece with printing to represent a Pit Cola can. Pretty simple figure, but I'm still proud of the way she looks. Apart from Stan, Brenda probably has some of the funniest gags in the show. Like, that whole pixie dust scene had me dying, dude. She would use mid-legs, as she is taller than both Mabel and Candy, with some printing for her shoes. This along with dual molded arms, with printing for her sleeves, and an alternate, angrier expression, using the official ponytail hairpiece. For her accessory, she would use the official lizard Pascal piece to represent her lizard from Double Dipper, and a 1x1 flat tile as a reference to this hilarious scene from the last Mabel corn.
Sleep now.
Kinda simple, but I like the way she turned out looking. Pass's character arc has to be one of my favorite enemies to ally arcs out there. Apart from Zuko, Amity, and maybe Hunter, she would use small legs with printing for her boots, as well as an alternate, happier expression, and this hairpiece from one of the Friends characters, with her accessory being a new mirror piece to represent the lumberjack ghost mirror from one of my favorite episodes, Northwest Manor Mystery. At the end of the day, I like the way she turned out looking. Speaking of character arcs, Guideon's turn to the light side is probably the most rushed thing in the show. Ain't no way Lil Bro went from a hater to a lover after just a small speech. That's some serious Steven Universe energy. You know it at this point, he would use small legs with printing for his shoes. This along with an alternate, angrier expression, and the Egon Spengler hair. Finally, for his accessory, he would use the existing book piece with some printing for journal number 2's cover, and a 2x1 flat tile with printing on the inside to represent the amulet page from the end of the hand that rocks the Mabel. Talking about the amulet, he would have a 1x1 circle tile to represent it. Other than his hair looking a little goofy, I'm proud of the outcome. Blendin is gotta be one of my favorite side characters. I love everything from his name being a play on words and his whole gimmick of blending into the environment. He would use dual molded legs with some printing for his boots, as well as some arm printing to represent his sleeves and watch, with his accessory being a 1x1 tile with printing to represent the time tape from the time traveler's pig, and an extra hairpiece for his pretty hair. Don't have anything else to say about this, I just really like the way the figure looks. Man, I still remember thinking people were insane for saying Stan had a twin brother that wrote the journals. Like, I was so convinced that McGucket wrote them. And all because of that leaked image, which turned out to be a hoax by freaking Alex Hirsch himself. Well played, Alex. Well played. Grunkle Ford, or just Stan Ford, would use dual molded legs with some boot and flowing hip printing. Like Stanley, he would have the outline of his nose on his beard to represent his oddly large nose. This along with an alternate startled expression and the side-swept hairpiece with some printing for his graying hair. Finally, he would use the existing book piece with some printing for journal number 1's cover and a 2x1 flat tile with printing on the inside to represent Bill's page as his accessory. Even if Stanley and he were very similar to design, I'm proud of how he came out looking. We have arrived at the last character, the angry Dorito himself, Bill Cipher. Such an amazing villain, only enhanced even further by his backstory from the Book of Bill. So glad to see he survived like so many of us theorized back in the day, especially with them tying the axolotl back to it all like...
Just going to ignore that.
I'm just so happy all those years of theorizing finally paid off. Oh well, too bad he's trapped in that terror prism forever and ever. Bill would use short legs, as well as a new triangle body piece, with 3 different attachment points. One on the left, and one on the right for his arms to attach, as well as one at the top for his top hat, using a new piece to represent its tall and long shape. Lastly, for his accessory, he would use the official book piece to represent McGucket's laptop from Sock Opera / Northwest Manor Mystery, with printing for the screen and a 2x1 flat tile with keyboard printing, making for probably one of the best figures I made for the series. Well, there you go. That's all 12 characters from Gravity Falls that I was able to turn into LEGO minifigures. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider making a deal with that subscribe button and leaving a like, as it helps out the channel a lot. While you're down there, let me know if there are any other animated shows you'd like me to cover. At this point, I've done a video on all, if not most of my favorite shows, so it'd be nice to try something new. Also, at the time of recording this, friend of the channel Mini Brick Productions has their very own Gravity Falls project over on LEGO Ideas. So, if you want LEGO Gravity Falls to possibly become a reality in the future, check out the link in the description. As always, have a great day, and remember to... Reality's an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Bye! And hey, if you're interested in animated properties, consider checking out the videos listed on screen right now. On your left, you can find my set based on the ending of Amphibia. If you're more of an owl head, on the right, you can find my set based on Season 3 of The Owl House. As always, take care, and I'll see you fellow LEGO enjoyers next time.